welcome to my YouTube channel, a home not far from home. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. If you're new here, welcome to the wonderful family. You are in safe and good hands, I promise. And then if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, my love. Thank you so much for tuning in again. It really means a lot to me. So because of the previous video I posted, I got a lot of interaction with people. I got a lot of DMs. I got a lot of questions about how I went from being a person who was bullied. I went from being a person who was depressed and going through it. I went from a person who didn't have a really good relationship with their mom to how I am now. So I thought, because based on all of those questions and the interaction I had with people, I thought to myself that, girl, why not make a video and then explain how I tried to move on from those things, like what I constantly told myself throughout that time, and then the things that helped me to move from being that person to the person that I am today. And then I did a research also on some of the things that I didn't do at that time, but I wished I would have known at that time. I think maybe my healing process, or rather the whole process, would have been a lot faster. The first thing I want to talk about, or the first thing I want to say, is that life is not fair. That's just it. It's not fair, and then you should never expect it to be fair. Because as much as maybe you think, okay, right now I'm in a bad space, right now God is not here for me, right now I am going through it, you are not the only one. Do not expect life to be fair on you, because it will never be fair on you. And as much as it's not fair on you, and then if you keep on dwelling on that, nothing is gonna come out of the thing. Life is not fair, and it's not fair on all of us. We all have our bad days, we all have our rainy days, we all have our sad days. And as much as I'm this person that I am now, as much as I can say that I'm a lot happier than when like how I was back then, maybe in 2020, early 2021, I still get those days where I feel like, nah, today I don't want to do anything. Today the world doesn't want me. Like, everything is just against me. I have those days, I swear. I have days where I feel like things are happening for other people and not me. But I constantly remind myself that when the time is right, the Lord will make it happen. And that keeps me moving every day. Like, it keeps me moving. Because as much as I'm praying for something now, I believe Unkulunkulu is not giving me that thing at that time, because I am not fully equipped and ready to have that thing, you know. So do not feel like life is against you just because you are going through things. Do not feel like God is not there for you. Do not feel like people are not there for you, because at the same time, people are not entitled to being there for you 24/7. You can't feel like your mom should always be there for you, your friends, because she's your best friend, or your boyfriend. Or people can't be there for you 24/7, and people can't be there for you all the time, because as people, we all go through shit. We all go through things. We all go through trials and tribulations. And sometimes I need a friend as much as you need a friend, and I can't be that friend at that time, because I also need a friend, and you don't know that. So it's very much important to be able to be on our own, like to be on our own. We'll get into that into detail whilst the video unfolds. Second thing actually I wanted to talk about is taking responsibility. That's very much important. Sometimes it's easy to see fault here. They are not our fault. We didn't do anything, or we didn't contribute to that thing happening to us, but it did happen. It is happening. We should take responsibility. Everything that happens in your life is your responsibility. As much as it might not be your fault, but it is your responsibility, because you cannot expect things to happen and then the other person to fix those things. Okay, we do have people that want to try to help us with things, but umuntu akaneliseki, guys. One thing, you know, I can do things for you, I can buy things for you, I can say things to you, but at the end of the day, the only person who can help you is you, because you know what you want. So taking responsibility is very much important, because whenever you take responsibility about things that happen in your life, you're able to detect all the places that need help in you. You are able to detect all the things that you can do and the things that you cannot do, because you are taking responsibility over your own life, which is very much important, because I like responsibility for your life, especially if you are grown. Yeah, you know, when you start, I think maybe you're being 14, 15, when you start being a teenager, a lot happens in your life, because a lot of things change. You move away, not entirely, but you move away from your parents, because now in your mind you're thinking, no, I'm old enough to do this, I'm old enough to do that. And at that time our parents have been telling us about izinto ezifana nomjolo, ukuthi ningajoli abafana, you know, all those things. But at that time we were like, no, this is right. And then once all these things happened, we were trying to find someone to blame. And like, who are you gonna blame besides yourself? And at the same time, you do not have to blame yourself. You do not have to blame yourself. We as people, we go through different things at different times. So it is very much important to take responsibility of everything that happens in your life. Everything that happens in your life, take responsibility. Do not, okay, I don't know what to say about, but no, do not blame anyone. Made up my mind. Do not blame anyone. Just take responsibility for you and your mental health and your soul and everything in you to move from that thing that has happened to the next. Because as much as maybe you think you are dealing with shit now, you are still gonna deal with shit. As long as you are living, you are still gonna deal with things. So if you learn to master taking responsibility, I swear to you, you're gonna be good. And then another thing, time management. Time management is very much important. You know, whenever you are in a depression stage, whenever you are very much anxious, and then you wake up having the world on top of you, you have to practice time management, because you can make or break your own habits. You understand? So if whenever you are in a depression stage and matter, time management, like plan ahead, try to plan things ahead, and then divide your time into sections of, at this time I'm doing this, at this time I'm doing that, so that you can be able to at least do something in a day. Because if you gonna think ukuthi uzohlala in your bed the whole day and then think about how shitty your life is, it's gonna get even worse. It's gonna get even more and more shittier than it is. Time management is very important. Plan ahead. It's very much important. Plan on what you're gonna do, when you're gonna do it. It's more of like, maybe if you have a date with maybe your friend, your partner, your family, like, you know, oh, you have to go somewhere. Plan. This is what I'm gonna wear. This is the time I'm gonna wake up. Set a time. I set reminders. That helped me. Setting reminders has helped me a lot. I even set reminders of how beautiful I am, how precious I am, how I'm gonna make it. Like I set reminders so that they can remind me each and every day. And then sometimes when they pop up, I'm like, because maybe at that time I'm just not feeling it. But the next day, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling a lot better about myself and everything that's happening. And I'm like, oh, this reminder, perfect thing, perfect timing. So time management is very much important. And then the next thing is identifying your beliefs and values so that you can set healthy boundaries for yourself. Identify your beliefs and values. Identify what you like and then what you don't like. Be able to set boundaries for yourself and other people. Be able to say no to things and to say, yes, this is what I want. Be able to know that, okay, me as Umabato, I can do this, and then this I can do, this I do not want. Because if you are able to identify your values and your beliefs, you are able to be within your own element. You are able to know and detect things that are for you and things that are not for you. So it is very much important to be able to know your beliefs and your values. And then also with your beliefs and your values, you are able to attract people that believe and value the same things as you. You understand? You are able to attract people that you actually need. People that, okay, they might not want the same thing that you want. They might not really believe in everything that you believe, but at least you guys can share something in your journey. You understand? You're able to talk to them about some other things because they believe in those things, rather than ukuthi uhlale nabantu who do not believe in what you believe. You understand? They are constantly taking you back, and sometimes to share what's on your mind. Sometimes you just need a friend. Sometimes you just need someone to listen without even advice or anything. You just need someone to listen to you. I mean, someone who can like just sit there and then say, I hear you and I understand what you're going through. I might not have been through that, but I understand what you're going through. So it's very much important to have someone who shares the same beliefs and values as you. Another thing is that you should learn to be okay with starting over. You should learn to be okay with things failing, because things fail all the time. You should learn to be okay with that and understand just because it failed doesn't mean I shouldn't be doing it. You get what I'm saying? Just because it didn't happen the way I planned doesn't mean it was planned to fail or it was a plan for disaster. You understand? Sometimes, especially if you don't know anything. For example, me, when I started this YouTube channel, I didn't know a lot of things. My first video, I recorded it the wrong way, and then I somehow in this journey I felt discouraged. I felt like, no man, I can't do this, because also I'm a person who's very much shy. I do not like talking a lot, but in this whole thing I learned to understand that things failing or things going wrong doesn't mean it's my fault or maybe it's a plan for disaster. No, you should always learn to stick to your routines, stick to what you want. As much as and how many times it may fail, you should just, from that one failure, you learn to move on from that. You learn whenever you are depressed, you learn, okay, yesterday this is what happened with who, this is how it happened. You learn from that whole experience, this is what it taught me, this is how I felt, this is what I didn't like, this is in the way you responded to it, you are able to identify, this is what I liked, this is what I didn't like, because sometimes you end up saying things that you do not even want to say. You understand? So you are able to go back to that and then be like, okay, this I have to change, this I have to change, okay, this I'm gonna keep, I just have to fix it a bit. So be okay with starting over. There's nothing wrong with starting over. You can start over as many times as you want. You can rebrand yourself as many times as you want. If you feel like this is not the person that I like, this is not the person I want to be, or this is not the person I want to be for my kids, for my family, for my friends, for my you can rebrand as much as possible. Just stick to yourself, stick to your values and beliefs, stick to what you want, stick to what God wants for you, stick to what's good for you, and then rebrand yourself. Do not be afraid to starting over, guys. Start over as many times as you want, because some things, like I said in the beginning of the video, that some things may not be our fault, but from there, taking responsibility is your own baby. You should take responsibility of everything and start over if you want. Okay, the next thing we're gonna talk about is to keep a clean space. Keeping a clean space is very much important, because keeping a clean space is having a clear mind. If you are depressed, most times when you're depressed, same as me, when I was depressed, my room, you would find shoes everywhere. You would find clothes, you would find plates there, you would find, like, I sometimes being a differentiator from clean clothes to clothes that still needs to be washed, because ngiyakhulula, I just throw the keeping I do not like it anymore. Instead of me folding it back and putting it back wardrobe, no, I'm just because I didn't have a time management at that time. So whenever maybe I was late or I was in a hurry, I would just take things out and then I would wear them, and then I'm like, I don't like the shit, and then I take it out as quickly as I can, and then I just throw it wherever I want, because I'm late, time management is bad, I am not keeping a clean space, I do not even care. And the more you keep a space which is not clean, it somehow, even though you might not see it, or even though you might think it's not true, somehow it affects it. Because if you are not in a clean space, you yourself, you're not gonna be able to breathe properly with and dirty clothes and your shoes everywhere. Like even your mind as much as your space. So keeping a clean space is very, very much important. It is very much important. And if you keep a clean space, you constantly get motivated to go to, okay, let me pack things here, let me pack things there. Like you get organized. And if you get organized with your space, you can easily get organized with your life. So keeping a clean space is very, very, very much important. The next thing is understand your attitude towards life, because you can bring your own happiness, you can bring your own happy days, you can bring your own sadness, your anxieties and your depressions and everything. So understand your attitude towards life. Whenever you're depressed, one thing I remember about being depressed was that I was very defensive. If someone says something to me and I just snap, just like that, I snap, because I at that time I felt like everything and everyone was just out there to get me. You understand? Everyone just, I felt like everyone is trying to attack me, and that's not the case. Trust me, it's not the case. So understand and learn your attitude towards life. Try to be a positive person as much as you can, even though sometimes, because people do try you, they will try you. People will definitely try you. Even though someone is trying to attack you, just breathe and think about it, and then respond in a more positive way, so that why are you attacking me? Like, why are you trying to attack me? Everything else in my life is attacking me. Why are you also attacking me? So keeping a positive mindset really helped me. Anyway, I am a very much positive person. One thing about me, I am very much positive and I'm very much calm. Sometimes I fail to be positive because people try me. Don't get me wrong, but I am a very calm person. I always try to just be in my zone and think about something before I respond, because one thing about me also, I hate hurting people. I do not like someone else being hurt because of me. But somehow I'm affected in a negative way, because I would literally let people walk all over me. I would let people be on my head because I didn't want to hurt them. So that's also one thing I am trying to live and learn with. Like, I'm trying to learn how to change that. I'm trying to learn to be a positive person and to speak positively without letting people run all over my head, because I do not want that. I do not like that. So it is very much important to understand your attitudes towards life. Understand how you respond to people. Understand what you say and the feedback that you get from people. Understand what you do and the outcomes of what you do and what you say. And then also it goes back to keeping people who bring out the positive in you. It's very much important to have people that are gonna be there for you, people that are gonna pray for you and with you, people that are gonna try to move you away from spaces of you trying to bring yourself down, people that are gonna like talk to you, people are gonna listen to you, people who are gonna want to help you genuinely, so people that are gonna just want to be there for you and be there with you throughout the episodes of depression and anxieties and sadness and all those roller coaster rides, being happy the other day, being sad the other day. So understand your attitude towards life. Another thing is loving yourself out of relationships and things. What I mean about that is that on my previous video I did mention how I was in a relationship, and then when it ended, I ended. Basically, at that time I didn't love me. out of that relationship. I couldn't picture myself out of that relationship. So it is important to actually love yourself out of relationships, love yourself out of things. Do not feel entitled to people and things, because people and things, they come and go. They come and go. And at some points, for example, in my relationship, at that time I was so convinced I'm gonna get married there. I was so convinced that this is my last relationship, and in my mind I was like, even if it ends, I don't know, it won't end. Yeah, it won't end. So when it ended, like, I couldn't take it. I genuinely couldn't take it. So it's very much important to love yourself outside of relationships. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't love who you are when you are in a relationship with someone, or who you are when you are best friends with someone, or who you are when with your mom. It can be with anyone. Honestly, it can be with anyone. I'm not saying you shouldn't love who you are or what you guys have, but I'm saying that at that time, understand that it can end. You understand? And ask yourself questions like, if it ends, what's gonna happen to me? You should be able to answer yourself with answers like, if it ends, I'm still gonna be happy. If it ends, I'm still gonna take care of myself. If it ends, the other things that are happening in my life won't end. It will be just this one particular relationship that ends. If it ends, it ends. I move on, loving myself, respecting myself, being there for myself, enjoying myself alone. Understand? So it goes back to things like, take yourself out, just solo date, go out and eat, buy yourself things that you want. At that time, buy yourself things that you afford, but get yourself everything that you want, everything you can possibly get yourself. Like, love yourself to that point. Do not think in your mind ukuthi maybe mangaba ku relationship isn't kanje zizoyenzeka, maybe because of this relationship isn't kanje. No, understand and love yourself outside of things and relationships. It's very much important, and it's one thing that's best that you can do for yourself. Love yourself enough. Love yourself before a person. Like, love yourself. Like, love everything about yourself, which is why I did say with him, have your own beliefs and values. Have your own love language for yourself before other people. Like, understand yourself, learn yourself, make time for yourself, make your own routines for yourself. Like, be there and be about yourself. It's very much important. I'm sorry about that. Understand that there are seasons, and every season has its trial and tribulations. Very important. Why? Because in life, things happen. Like I said, shit happens in life, and it happens to the best of us. It happens to each and every one of us. And I always say to my friends that whatever happens in your life, go back to God and ask God, what are you trying to teach me in this season? Are you trying to teach me to be patient? Are you trying to teach me to be consistent? Are you trying to teach me to be more loving, more forgiving, more understanding? Like, what exactly are you trying to teach me here? Because in that season, that particular season you are in, you're gonna move to the next one, and in the next season of your life, you're gonna need the life teachings and understanding, like, and everything that you've been taught in this season that you're in. You might be depressed right now, thinking, because there are a lot of reasons that depress us as people. We go through different things, so isn't this depressor as fun? But in that depression stage of yours right now that you're in, tell yourself that, girl, boy, I've got this. Like, try to calm down. Like, try not to be too much into your feelings. I know it's hard. Trust me, I've been there. I know it's hard. I know it's hard not understanding what's going on. I know it's hard not having people that you really need at that time. I know it's hard waking up and thinking, fuck, what am I gonna do with my life? Like, what? I do not have the right finances. I do not have the right mental state. I do not have the right physical body that I want. Like, when you're depressed, there's a lot that goes on in your mind. There's a lot that goes on, but just take a break and, like, breathe, and then ask yourself, what am I being taught right now? What am I being taught? And then also, that one thing that can help you when you are asking yourself questions and you're asking God questions is to journal. It's something that also helped me. Journal. Have a book, have a pen, have color pens, have your pencil, have a rubber, and then be creative with everything. Write down. If you like writing dear diary, write dear diary, dear God, dear me, dear your name. Write another thing. Write the dates down. Like, keep track of everything. Write down the date. Write down how you feel. Write down when I was depressed, I used to write dear God, and then I would keep the dates on the side, and then I would write how I feel, how my day went, and then after that I would write my prayer, and then I would write a prayer on how I feel that day, what I went through, what I think. Like, I would pray to God about everything. I would write it down, because at that time when I was depressed, I remember I didn't pray. I used to call my friend in the early mornings, maybe probably around 5 a.m. crying, and then she would pray. I'm very much thankful for that girl. So write down your prayers, keep a journal. Like, sometimes you won't feel like writing. I know you won't feel like writing, because at that sometimes you'd feel like everything is just here and it's heavy, and that's okay. Trust me, it's okay to feel like that. And if you have days that you feel like that, just calm down and do not do anything. Just be in your feelings, but do not stay too long in your feelings, because life moves. One thing about life, it moves, and it waits for no man, it waits for no woman. It moves. Life moves. So one thing you should help yourself with is understand that life moves and things change. You might be depressed now, but in the next 2-3 years you won't be as depressed as you are, and things would have changed in 2 to 3 years time. And imagine if now ungazama ukuthi work on things now. Imagine that. Work on yourself, work on your ideas, work on your business, work on your relationship with your mom, work on your relationship with your siblings, with your dad, with your friends. Work on yourself. Like, start doing things that you love, start going to gym. Imagine in 3 years time if you start doing all of that now. Like, just imagine. So what I'm trying to say is that journal and keep a clear mind, keep a positive mind on everything. And then another thing is to practice mindfulness and meditation. Well, with the meditation part, I used to be so confused about it, because I didn't understand what I should meditate on, or how I should actually start with meditating. Because people would tell you, yeah, be alone and think, and I'm like, think about what? Because all I can think about is my life coming down. Like, everything that I tried to build is just collapsing. So what do you mean? But what I find out about everything is that be mindfulness, I don't know, practice mindfulness, that's what I want to say, and meditate. Have some time, okay, with if you haven't meditated before, if like it's your first time meditating, do not listen to those people that are going to tell you to meditate for 10 minutes, because like 10 minutes, child, that's a lot of time just thinking. You don't even know what to think about at that time, because the only thing that comes to mind is how depressed you are, how bad your life is at that time, how everything is just working against you. Do not do those 10 minutes things. Just try to meditate. You can even try to meditate for like 2 minutes. Understand? Like, for like 2 minutes, just have a clear mind and just do breathing exercises. Breathe in and out, even though you don't have anything that you want to think about at that time, or you don't really want to meditate, because I feel like, personally, I feel like meditating is different in everyone. You understand? Because when you meditate, you just think of what you want to think of. So you can't really say, you can't really tell anyone else how to meditate. You understand? But my advice for meditating is that, just, especially if you are a beginner with meditating, just sit down in a comfortable position, breathe in breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and then let whatever comes to mind come to mind at that time. Think about whatever that comes to mind, and even if it's like thoughts that are very much disruptive or anything, let them come to mind, and then keep a positive attitude towards them. If you are thinking about, maybe for example, you are thinking about how bad your life is, or how bad your relationship with your mom is, or anything that's bad, just think about it and then ask yourself questions about it and find your own solutions about it, even though maybe your solutions are not practical at that time, or maybe your solutions are things that you can't do at that time. Just keep a positive mind to it. Just meditate on positivity, and then with time you learn how you better meditate. You learn how you want to meditate on your own. Like, you learn a lot of things with time. And then the next thing is that read books. Reading books is very much essential, guys. Read books, because in books you be able to better your vocabulary. You'll be able to know other things that you didn't know. Like, you'll be able to even reason with people through books. Like, you can read any book that you like. At that time I used to read fiction. I love fiction so much. Now I'm kind of changing. I'm not really a fan of fiction anymore. But at that time I used to read a lot of fiction. I read a lot of fiction, and somehow it kept my mind a bit sharp. So I was able to think and reason at the time, even though sometimes like I would cry 90% of the time. But one thing about me at that time, a lot of people didn't even know that I was depressed, and a lot of people didn't see me crying. A lot of people don't know the crying mama. So I am not the person. I won't say I enjoy or I love it, but I prefer people crying to me and then me helping. I am such a helping person. I love helping. That's one thing about me. So if you wanna cry, you cry. If you wanna scream, scream. If you wanna write it down, but I highly advise writing things down. Write it down, because if you write things down, in 4 months time you are able to go back and see, 4 months ago I was here, and then this is where I am now. You are able to learn your patterns and things that help you. And then the last thing is learn to speak up. I am still struggling just a little bit with speaking up. I don't want to lie, but it's something that I am learning. It's something that I try to practice on a daily. It's something that sometimes it puts me back, because sometimes I want to speak up and I don't, and I constantly think about that thing, and then it makes me sad, because ngiyazibuza ukuthi why ungakhulumi girl. Couldn't see khuluma indaba yokuthi kumele ukhulume. Like, couldn't see khuluma, and now you're gonna start preaching it to other people, but you are not doing it yourself. I am trying, guys. I do not wanna lie. I am trying to speak up, but it's very much hard. It's hard, but it's something I am learning to do. I swear I am, but okay, it's not about me. It's not about me. Speak up, guys. Learn to speak up. Learn to voice out how you feel, because this other guy once told me that if you keep things in your head, you won't be able to bring or invite other thoughts in your head, because you are constantly thinking about it. For example, if I do something to you and then you understand, whenever you see me, you think about that thing. You understand? You think about it constantly. Even if I say other things, in your mind, or and me, I wasn't even there. Or me, I didn't think it the way that you're thinking about it. You understand? So you are constantly thinking about it. You can't even invite other thoughts of me or other thoughts that surround me, because you are constantly thinking about one thing. So opening up is very much important, guys. Open up. I know being depressed is the worst thing that can ever happen to a person, but try not to allow that, because some circumstances, they happen, but they are not your fault. Take responsibility for them, but they are not your fault, and it's not the end of the world. You are a great person. You are a loving person. You are you are a superwoman. You are a super boy. So just learn to be there for yourself. Just learn to understand yourself, to love yourself, to be there for yourself, to give yourself everything that you want, and understand which is a very much bright future ahead of you. A much bright future ahead of you, and that future needs the present you to be focused. It needs the present you to be out of the shackles of depression and anxiety, because it's depression and anxiety, they are not helping you in any way. They are just taking a lot out of you. They are taking your time, they are taking your love, your patience, your endurance. Like, they are taking a lot out of you. So just free yourself from all of those things, guys. Please, 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 for my sake, at least. So I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope I was able to help wherever I can. I hope I was able to say everything the way I was supposed to say it, and you guys can grab here and there. I know that I'm not gonna be able to help each and everyone, especially each and everyone that's gonna watch this video, but I am just hoping and praying to God every day that and everything that I say on this channel and everything that I do would be a reflection of him. You know, it will be more of him saying or talking to you guys, so that we can be helped, man. We can be happier and joyful and more about life and more about things that are happening now and things that are gonna happen. I am just hoping that we are not gonna be too invested in our past and too invested in things that bring the worst of us, things that keep us in the shackles of depression. I'm just hoping and praying every day to God that be free, man. You understand? Be free, be happy, and be able to move on. Be rich, as in senses in this is a sense of be rich, be happy, be content and joyful, with so much love and laughter and happiness and everything, man. That's good for us, because I believe that God created us to be the best versions of ourselves, so we should strive to find that versions of ourselves. If you are still watching even now, oh, I dig you. Thank you so much, guys, for watching my video. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe, hit the ringer bell for every time I post a video. Please tell your friends to tell their friends and their parents and their parents' friends about this YouTube channel of mine. I would really much appreciate that. Don't forget to love and take care and nurture each other, guys. God loves y'all, and so do I. Till next time, bye.